Welcome to another edition of Tom's Real Food Podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back. I am Tom Garver, the Keto Cook, and today on Tom's Real Food Podcast, I'm going to be doing some cooking. But I'm going to show you, I had some bad news. A good friend of mine from high school days had passed. We were real good, close friends. He was always a great supporter of mine as far as cooking and stuff like that. So what I did was I sort of incorporated it into the cooking that I'm doing today. The whole process was going to be, I was going to cook zucchini with some sauce, make a simple meal, and how fast and easy it was. And I sort of got carried on about our friendship and told a few stories here and there. So I'm going to be busting in and out here, and we're going to show this video. And also, I am going to, there's some things I got to say about last week's podcast. I got a lot of response from it, and also I got a lot of negative response from it. Not really negative. I want people to engage in talks, but we'll get into that a little bit down the road. All right, here we go. Hey everybody, welcome back. I am Tom Garver, the Keto Cook. Today on Tom's Real Food Podcast, we're going to do something different. I'm going to do some cooking. We're going to do a little chat. Today I'm going to be making some zucchini, very thinly sliced zucchini. I'm going to saute it up in the pan. I have a little sauce on the stove, some leftover sauce. I'm using fire roasted tomatoes lately because I like the flavor of it. And if you can, give it a try. Some people like it, some people don't. But I sort of took a shine to it. There's no rhyme or reason what I'm going to be doing today. It's more or less I'm going to cook and chat at the same time. Something hit me hard this past week. I had a good friend of mine since I knew from high school, I guess 8th grade high school, but a real good friend of mine named Ted LaMotta. Teddy was a great guy. From the first time we met, he was always a true friend, and it sort of rocks my world a little bit because of over the years you lose touch a little bit here and there. We would go back and forth once in a while on Facebook, occasional call, but other than that, he was in his world, I was in mine, and but I got to say something. The friendship, until you stop and think about it, the friendship goes way back, like I said, from the beginning, and the kind of guy he was, okay? Big-hearted. He had a big heart, and at the end, he needed a heart. That's mind-boggling for me. From what I understand, he was on a transplant list since October, and his health just deteriorated. So that sort of catches me a little bit, because you know what? I'm a year older than Ted, and Ted had just turned 70. So I'll be 71 in October. And I always said throughout the years to him, respect your elders, you hear me? And we would laugh about it the whole bit. But the reason why I'm bringing this to my food channel is because most of the stuff that we did involved food. Now, as we got older, in my cooking career, let's put it that way, no matter where I worked, Teddy always showed up. All right, unannounced, or I would look out to see what kind of crowd we had going on in the restaurant, and there in the back was Ted LaMotta sitting there. Okay, always there, always around. And other times I knew that he was in the restaurant because he would send me back a scotch. And this is for me. I'm here. Talk to you later, whatever. Okay, that's the kind of guy he was. And my whole life, okay, was we were always together in our younger years. Okay, even once he got married, and then I got married, his first time, and my second time. We were close. Even in my first marriage, Teddy was there. But there again, you part ways the whole bit. But when it mattered, that's when he was there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about some funny things. I mean, we always laughed, no matter what went on, no matter where we were. something would happen around us or by us, okay, and we would just thought it was hysterical, and we'd start laughing. So I'm going to start sauteing up some of this zucchini here, and I'm going to give a couple stories about this. And now, like I said, this really has nothing to do with my channel, but in the same token, no, it does, okay? It's from my roots, where it came from, and the support I had back in the day when I was doing this kind of lifestyle. So I'm gonna get this thing working here. All right, I'm gonna add a little olive oil to my saute pan. Now, I'm going to be up closer to the mic with this because it means a lot to me. There again, like I said, friends, are forever, okay? Until they're not. If you get my drift. All right, into the pan, a little olive oil, and I always season my pan. All right, and what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start dropping down. Get in here. The zucchini. Now this is done on a mandolin. Okay, slice it very super thin. And the reason why I do that is so that it cooks up much faster. Probably going to be turning on the oven today. It's maybe 80 degrees outside. So now, talking about my buddy Ted, we would go to his house and we would make dinners. Okay, either he'd come to my place or I go to his house and always make a dinner. And he would always stand next to me or behind me, watching everything I did. Okay, so I would turn around now, say I'm going to be seasoning the zucchini now on the top side. I already seasoned the pan, and what I would do is I would shake it on, okay, and then do something stupid, okay. I tap on something like that, and he would take a mental note of it that I would do that, banging that down for some reason. And then later on in our conversations, he would say to me, "Let me ask you a question. Why did you bang that shaker?" And I'd give him some crazy off the cuff answer on it. And then later on, he figured out, and then, "You son of a bitch," and we laughed like hell. That was our main thing that we always did. We always laughed. We always had a good time. His family became my family became his family, and it was a good way of growing up. And like I said before, guy had a great big heart, and lo and behold, at the end, that's what he needed, was another heart. Okay, now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be browning these up a little bit. Not going to overcook them. And then I'm going to place them on this tray here with some paper towel down on it. And we're going to just start laying that out like that. Now, what I'm going to be doing here today is I'm going to be making like almost like maybe a zucchini lasagna maybe. Okay, only just with cheese. Today we're going to go sort of meatless. Which you can do every once in a while on your keto journey. Let's make sure we got here. Now, I got a funny story I'm going to talk about with my buddy Teddy. Now, we would go out a lot, and it was, like I said before, always evolved around food. So we would go to different restaurants, and mostly Italian restaurants. We would go into the city. He knew I loved going into Lower Manhattan, Little Italy, and that's where sometimes we would wind up down there. So now we're in a place, okay, and we're sitting at the bar, and it was a clam hut, basically what it was. You would get steamed clams, or you would get fresh raw clams, or whatever. And we both ordered these clams. And Teddy got in a conversation with the people sitting next to him, and had put his back to me. And as I was eating my clams, I would take the empty shell, put it on his plate, and take one of his clams. Until we got to the point where, when he got done with his bull crapping with people, always talk to people, no matter who they were. He would always, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Blah blah blah." Start up a conversation. So with him talking to everybody, I ate 24 clams. He turned around and looked at me and he said, "Oh, look at these. They're so light and airy. I tell you, always laughed with Ted LaMotta. Always had a good time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on with another convo right now, and every once in a while I'll throw in a little bit of a story here. But no matter what happens, Godspeed, Mr. LaMotta. You're a good friend. Thank you. All right, this is working out well. As you can see right here, get it layered like that. I'm going to let that cool. I'm going to finish up the rest here, some of these pieces. And then we're going to move on with this cook. There you go. Here, good smell. And add a little bit more olive oil to it, I think. Zucchini's done. Now I'm toasting up the garlic. Look at that. Stove is off. So I'm just going to be roasting them around a little bit. And that's the color you want right there. Okay, see them starting to toast up a little bit? And what happens is the center of it gets cooked. It becomes nice and soft. So just flip a couple of these around. And they're going to continue to cook in that hot olive oil. Now, I didn't get the olive oil to the point where it was a smoke, the smoke point. So I'm just going to leave these sit in here a little bit, and I'm going to push it off to the side. In fact, I'm going to gather them. All right, let's move on. Now, a big block of mozzarella cheese here. I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to just use this portion of it, and we'll put this back away. I'm just going to slice this. No rhyme or reason to it, just so I can fit it onto the zucchini. That is a quick meal. I just thought I'd do it. Change of pace from my normal chatting or bitching and complaining about stuff. And then I thought I'd bring in, about my friend. There again, like I said, life goes on. Especially, childhood friends and a lot of stuff that we did. But like I said, life keeps on going. So everybody had their, we all had our own families to take care of and stuff like that. But a friend's a friend, no matter how you add it up. And this right here could be done with prosciutto, whole different. You can make it any way you want, okay? The whole idea is that it is very keto friendly. If you're stuck with some vegetables in your vegetable bin, you don't know what to do, here you go, right here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start layering. Actually, I'm going to shingle it. Like I said, this is cut very thin, just to make it real fast. All right, I'm going to put this down like that. That's enough right there. I'm going to add some cheese to it. No rhyme or reason. Just, I'm sorry for my arm in the way. All right, now I'm going to address something that took place last week on last week's podcast after it aired. Wow, what a big response. And I thank each and every one of you for listening and or watching and also commenting. Now, I did have some, well, it can be taken the wrong way, all right, but strong opinions about keto. You're not hurting my feelings. This is what I do, how it works for me, and I applaud if you are still trying to do some kind of diet to better yourself and stay away from the high sugar and the high carbs. I applaud you. So please keep coming back. And keep watching. I want to hear your opinions. I really do. It does not hurt my feelings if you talk negative about it. It's not negative to me. So please hit that like, subscribe button. Please engage, and everybody has their own opinion. So I think we need to talk more rather than argue. Let's talk about it, and I appreciate it. I really do. Now, putting a meal like this together, okay, is fairly simple, extraordinarily cheap. Okay, I mean that block of cheese that I had before that you've seen, okay, that's $4.99 for a block of really good mozzarella cheese. Okay, here I said it, mozzarella. Okay, the zucchini, two for $1. So my point is, with today's economy and the way things are going, sticking to a regimented diet, okay, is no longer affordable. All right. So make your way through it. Be conscious of high carbs. Be conscious of high sugars. Okay, and deal with what you may. All right. Fire roasted tomatoes I have here, zucchini, garlic, cheese. Doesn't get any better. Can't forget the basil. Okay, so we're coming to the end of this little demonstration here about the zucchini made with fire roasted tomatoes and also mozzarella cheese, some garlic, and fresh basil. Now, this was kind of bittersweet for me because you don't expect these kind of phone calls and stuff. I went through the same paces with when my two brothers died, and then also my sister. You kind of expect it, a little bit older, but when somebody a little, the same age and you've done your crazy stuff together, it sort of is an eye opener. So, it's kind of hard to deal with, but I'm glad I did it this way with food because that's what we always revolved around. Teddy was a pizza delivery guy. He would call me from a payphone. Hey, what are you doing? You want to take a ride? Sure. He'd come swing by, pick me up, and I'd ride the rest of the night with him, while he delivered pizzas. Some of these wild stories and stuff like that we went through and did. It is helpful to go back and look at things in a different light. All right, finishing up, cutting up the rest of the basil here. The aromas through the house are unbelievable. We're going to get ready to put this plate together. And also getting back to last week's podcast. Now, like I said, there was a lot of activity. Let's put it that way, and I welcome it. I really do. I just hoped it didn't come out to be like keto versus carnivore and stuff like that, and I don't think it did. But in the same token, it's dialogue, and we need to talk about it because you know what? I was amazed on how many people that did. Chat about it, okay? That to me means that this is catching on. There's a lot of other people that are listening and or even doing either start with keto or just going directly into carnivore and whatever. My whole thing to this is lay off the high carbs, lay off the sugar. Them two there are the killers. Now, I would rather see people lay off the sugar completely. And if you're going to deal with some carbs, because a lot of different foods that we do eat do have carbohydrates in it. So, see how easy that was. I mean, I tell you what, it was delicious. It really, really had a great taste. If you haven't tried fire roasted tomatoes, give it a try. All right, it gives you that outdoorsy taste. In other words, like something from a fire. It was a good brand. I get it from Trader Joe's. If there's a Trader Joe near you, check it out. But in your regular supermarket, look for it. If not, ask for it. Maybe they can get it for you. It's a different alternative to just regular tomato sauce. Change things up a little bit. Zucchini was cheap, two for $1. The sauce was $2.99 for that can. Also garlic. I buy garlic in bulk. That was fantastic, by the way. And also I buy jalapenos and green onions and stuff like that. Put it all together. So if it was $5 to feed both of us, that was a home run. Plus, it was keto friendly. Now, I had mentioned in the middle there about last week's podcast, and I got to tell you, I was overwhelmed with it because it took off. There was a lot of response to it. Let's put it that way. Some a little off color, but I don't care about that. This is what I want. I want to open up a dialogue. I want to start talking to people about it because is keto right for everybody? No, it's probably not. Is carnivore right for everybody? No, it's probably not. But it is a better alternative to high carbohydrates, high sugars, and being constantly going to your doctor. Okay, There's other ways, there's other avenues to do that. Now, as far as my buddy's concerned, I feel bad for his wife. We had a lot of good memories. That's what's going to keep him alive in my mind is the crazy ass stuff that we did. We always laughed, always had a great time. My wife just reminded me a little while ago of a story. He had called me and asked me about a recipe about steak. Okay, so he says, "How do you know when to turn it, and how long after you turn it do you do it again?" Now Teddy's a smart guy. Okay, one of the greatest carpenters I know. Guy could figure out things left and right. Very neat, very clean worker, the whole bit. So I started talking to him, and I was very serious about what I was doing, but I can't let him off the hook. All right. So I said, as you turn the steak, okay, you want to count to 10, then you want to spin around nice and easy 3 times, and that's the time to turn the steak. Okay, he took that serious. We hang up on the phone, and about 10 or 15 minutes later, he called me back. I mean, he read me the riot act. We laughed so hard about it, but that's the way, that was our nature of our friendship. I mean, we're always busting each other's chops. You know, just certain things that were done, whatever. Ted Lamont, I'm going to miss you, buddy. All right, everybody, listen, hit that like, subscribe button. Don't forget to check back next Monday, okay? Don't forget to watch this week's video on Wednesday, Tom Garver, the Keto Cook. Monday's podcast, Sunday is the Sunday Dinner Chef. That's not keto, so we can have whatever you want on that one. And I'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe. Godspeed, Ted LaMotta. I'll see you on the other side, but not right away.